Look, fear can be a great thing. We're humans, right? 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 We're humans. We developed it for a reason. If we are fearful of something, chances are that thing can cause harm to us. So, for example, if I'm afraid of heights, I'm not going to go near that edge because that would raise my chances of dying. If I'm afraid of lions, that would raise my chances of dying if I interact with a lion. But sometimes fear can be a bad thing. And I feel like sometimes it can force you to make bad decisions just because of how something makes you feel. Fear drives a lot of decisions in our lives, whether it's good or bad. So here are my top 5 fears and how they guide my decision making on a day-to-day basis. I'm gonna start off with something a little bit lighter, and that is cockroaches. I am so afraid of cockroaches. I hate those things. If I see them in a room, I just immediately feel so uncomfortable. I cannot relax. I cannot, unwind. I cannot sleep properly. I will be thinking about that cockroach and where it went. And that's the worst thing about them is they just go anywhere. They slip through little cracks and crevices and you can't find them. So you may see one in the room and know that in a second later they could be gone and you will never see them again. Does that mean they're chilling out somewhere close by, or does that mean that they're gone for good? It's getting summer, so the cockroaches are coming back. That's the only thing I don't like about summer. On a more deeper note, one thing I'm very fearful of is my parents getting older, which is something that's inevitable, and that's why it's so devastating, is because I know one day my parents won't be here anymore. I hope I just don't have regret of the time I've been here with them. And, it's constantly, I feel like there's a balance between wanting to, focus on myself so that I can bring the best of myself. But also I want to focus on my relationship with my parents because I know that time is limited. All time here is limited. I always think about it, it's like, you can't do everything, you can't put time and effort 100% into everything. You have to split it up. You only have 24 hours in a day. And, I hope I chose the right percentage of that to give to my parents while they're here. And and then one day, I guess I'll kick the bucket too. Another thing I'm scared of is cancer. And cancer is very scary because there's so many ways that you can get it and there's so many things that cause it. So, and I partake in some of them. But, life is too short to worry about every single detail to optimize your life perfectly, because that's no fun either. But I definitely am curious about my chances of getting cancer. The longer you live, the chance that you're gonna get cancer is higher. It's something that I hope doesn't happen, but sometimes you can't control it. But hopefully, I don't think about this all the time, but it's definitely something in the back of my mind sometimes. And, in terms of choosing what I eat and things like that, in certain areas I try to mitigate it, but in other areas I'm not as good at mitigating my chances. So we'll see how that goes. Another thing I'm afraid of is failure. And I think a lot of people can relate to this for sure. A lot of people are afraid to fail, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It can be a good thing because it can motivate you even more, but it also can just be crushing, oh, I'm gonna fail, I may as well not even try. And I feel like in certain areas of my life it goes either way. I am definitely so afraid of failure, and it definitely does motivate me to put in more work. But I don't know if it's the perfect motivator always, because, once I start to feel like I'm doing well, I may just feel like I can coast a little bit. And I may forget that I have to keep pushing myself, past my comfort zone. So, failure is definitely one of those things that, it is always going to be a possibility, and the only way to advance is to risk failure. I hope I don't fail too much, but I guess they say it's good for you. And the last thing I'm afraid of is losing Catalina. She's my first, I don't want to say real pet, but I had a lizard growing up, but I never had like a cat or a dog. And yeah, like she's my first cat ever, or dog, but she's a cat. I just know that she's gonna go before me. And I got her as a kitty a couple of years ago, but like I still sometimes just think like she's not gonna be around forever. And she's not gonna be around forever, and it's I want to make sure I give her the best life possible. And sometimes I feel like I need to pay even more attention to her, because like she's truly just so special. And pets we're so lucky to have them, and not even lucky, we forced them into domestication, kind of. I don't know how that worked actually, but we're so lucky that we have these beautiful companions with us, and hopefully we can give them the best lives in return for their companionship. But yeah, one day it's gonna happen. It happens to every living thing, and it shouldn't be something you're too afraid about. Death, you shouldn't focus on it too much, but it definitely allows you to appreciate the time that you do have. Scary, super scary. So those were my top 5 fears. Some of them a little darker, some of them a little more lighthearted. Yeah, let me know some of your fears down in the comments, and let me know your favorite